Mary.
Welcome to the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, the country's first Polytechnic U. PUP is a state-run university governed by the Republic Act 8292, known as the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, and its implementing rules and regulations contained in the Commission on Higher Education Memorandum Circular No. 4, Series of 1997. It is home to more than 70,000 students, making it the largest state university in the Philippines in terms of student population. It is the university's commitment to give qualified and talented students access to quality and responsive education to aid them in the achievement of their dreams and the improvement of their lives. True to its commitment of making education accessible to all, the university has strategically established campuses and branches all over Luzon. PUP boasts of its roster of 1,483 full-time and part-time faculty members and 707 administrative employees. The faculty members and employees perform the collective goal of training, servicing, and supporting the university's stakeholders. From its humble beginnings in 1904, PUP was originally established as the Manila Business School primarily for the training of personnel for government service and to provide skills needed for private employment. 4 years later, the Manila Business School was renamed Philippine School of Commerce or PSC and merged with the Philippine Normal School from 1933 to 1946. Through the virtue of Republic Act 778, PSC was renamed to Philippine College of Commerce or PCC in 1952. In April 1, 1978, PCC was converted into a chartered state university now known as the Polytechnic University of the Philippines by virtue of Presidential Decree Number 1341. PUP truly has come a long way from a business school to a premier polytechnic university, the very first in the country. Every year, around 50,000 graduating high school students, mostly from economically challenged families, take the Polytechnic University of the Philippines College Entrance Test or PUP set and hope to become one of the 10,000 who will be given a chance to be new PUPians. At present, the university offers more than 80 programs in the graduate and undergraduate levels with its strategic direction of making the colleges vertically articulated. Graduate School, College of Accountancy and Finance, College of Arts and Letters, College of Architecture and Fine Arts, College of Business Administration, College of Communication, College of Computer and Information Sciences, College of Education, College of Engineering, College of Law, College of Political Science and Public Administration, College of Social Sciences and Development, College of Science, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, College of Human Kinetics, Institute of Technology. PUP further strengthens its open university system through expanded tertiary education equivalency and accreditation program and the non-traditional system program. It caters to borderless educational system that aims to reach many learners as possible. For more than a century of existence, countless outstanding achievements have raised PUP to the level of a national comprehensive university. With a vision to transform the university into an epistemic community, PUP subscribes to the idea that a university should have an extensive research and extension development culture. Each year, PUP surpasses national passing rate in licensure examinations and ranks among the top in different academic disciplines. has also institutionalized academic exchange and international cooperation with various countries all over the world through its Office of International Affairs. Today, PUP is relishing its successes and its students are enjoying unprecedented academic opportunities. An enhanced campus environment, upgraded colleges, state-of-the-art technology, and nationally and internationally recognized programs. It has gone far from what it was more than a century ago. This is mainly due to the support given by the government, the PUP community, and its benefactors. With the combined efforts, PUP will continue to be a partner in nation building and in poverty alleviation for the marginalized sector of the society, with quality, responsive, and relevant education as a tool. PUP, the country's first polytechnic U.
Allow me to share with you my vision for the university. I envision PUP to become the pioneering and leading national polytechnic university in the 21st century. With a national polytechnic university status, it will bring more opportunities for the university to further strengthen its academic programs and improve organizational performance as an institution for higher education. In pursuit for this vision, my mission for PUP is for it to recognize its catalytic role for national development. PUP will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities through a re-engineered polytechnic education. By re-engineering, we look into the existing processes and programs in order to achieve higher quality of academic programs and services following the principles of effectiveness and efficiency. With this mission in mind, I have formulated 10 pillars as my reform agenda for the university. Pillar 1, Dynamic, Transformational, and Responsible Leadership. Empower academic and administrative leaders by following the core principles of good governance to create collective growth and unity. Here I would like to highlight an innovation by introducing the development of an integrity management plan to assess, plan, and implement anti-corruption strategies that will secure the institution against corruption and abuse. Likewise, asset management and resource generation will be aggressively pursued to ensure productivity and finance the implementation of the plans and projects for the university. Pillar 2, Responsive and Innovative Curricula and Instruction. We aim to provide world-class polytechnic education that responds to national and global needs by developing intellectually challenging curricula and design academic programs that are based on industry demands to provide the learners with adequate and relevant competencies and skills and prepare them for a successful and rewarding careers. In a rapidly changing world, we recognize the paradigm shift in curriculum to outcome-based education with lifelong learning approach. Pillar 2 also sits on the framework of internationalization of Philippine higher education through transnational education by promoting academic mobility among faculty and students and global dimension into the curricula and teaching process. Pillar 3. Enabling and productive learning environment. Following education in Industry 4.0, we aim to increase and enhance the use of new technology to enable student learning and engagement, as well as advanced teaching process and methodology through new and state-of-the-art facilities that will support the overall learning and teaching experience in the university. Pillar 3 likewise includes campus development and the provision of conducive learning centers and facilities for students and faculty. Pillar 4. Holistic student development and engagement. We will empower students as well as rounded learners and active young leaders as we open opportunities for various academic mobility and venues for honing skills and personal development, being the principal stakeholder of the university. Recognize academic freedom as a form of self-expression and a platform to showcase students' intellect, skills, and creativity. Pillar 5. Empowered faculty members and employees. Likewise, we are looking into the holistic development of our faculty and employees as productive, competent, and experts in their respective fields. We will encourage our faculty roster through formal education, capacity building, research and extension initiatives, faculty immersion, and other academic engagements, both local and abroad. We will ensure that both our faculty and employees will have a vibrant career development path as public servants in this state university. Pillar 6. Vigorous research production and utilization. We will continue to strengthen the research culture in the university by promoting discovery and innovation through increasing disciplinary and collaborative research integration across academic disciplines to create new knowledge, utilize research findings, and develop innovative products. Pillar 7. Global academic standards and excellence. Achieve the highest levels of recognition in quality and compliance standards from CHED, AACUP, and other international accrediting and regulatory bodies for higher education. We will intensify our efforts to achieve and sustain better academic performance and continue to excel as a top-performing school in various professional licensure examinations and produce board top-notchers, as well as sustain our status of being the most preferred graduates of employers. Likewise, we aim to establish and to be recognized as centers of development and excellence in our academic programs. Pillar 8. Synergistic, productive, strategic networks and partnerships. Synergize and forge strategic linkages and partnerships across all sectors of society and the global community in line with the overall plans and programs of the university. Establish alliance with the government, industry sector, NGOs, and the academe will lead to resource sharing, program support, and research collaborations beneficial for all. Pillar 9. Active and sustained stakeholders engagement. Harness a healthy and harmonious organization by empowering all its stakeholders, both internal and external, through open communication networks, consultative and participative undertakings, and team-building activities, recognizing that all stakeholders can greatly contribute towards the betterment of the university. Pillar 10. Sustainable social development programs and projects. Expand access to education, knowledge building, and information dissemination through sharing of expertise and resources for community development. Support inclusivity approach and education by embarking on Education on Wheels, which aims to bring access to education closer to communities, following the principle of no one will be left behind. As the University of the People, we should bring the university closer to their hearts to serve their needs and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan.
Welcome back, schoolmates! Nagbabalik ang paborito niyong online tambayan. Dito lang yan sa Pamantasan. Ako si Zed.
Maghahatid kaalaman ng everything you had to know. Ako si El.
Tampok ang mga nakaka-proud at buwan ng PUP yan. Saka naman si Sir Dennis.
Lahat ng latest, trending at usaping back na back. Ako naman si Pa.
At muli niyo kami makakasama dito lang sa Pinakausap-usapan sa Pamantasan. High school
Wow!
ayan. Kamusta naman kayo dyan?
Yes! Siyempre, malamig.
Daming yes, ah.
At masaya, siyempre. O, kayo ba?
Wow, so inspired ako. Kami naman saan? Marami kami ginagawa pag Burma.
Oh, siyempre.
Pero kinakaya, laban. Laban lang.
Tama. Marami din naman kasi tayong natututunan.
Correct.
Diba?
Naku, alam nyo, kakayanin nyo yan.
Oh.
Kasi itong mga student leaders natin, kinakaya.
Sino
Oo.
yan, ma'am?
Academics plus student service.
Wow,
mismo.
Pwede kami tulong.
Kilalanin natin sila sa
Organing!
Hi schoolmates! Ako si Elijah San Fernando, ang bagong presidente ng Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral. Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral ang pinakamataas na student government sa PUP Main Campus. Since 1983 pa nag-e-exist ang mga student councils. Tungkulin ng Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral na magbigay ng mga aktibidad na maglilinang sa kagalingan at mga interes ng mga eskolar ng bayan. Bukod sa pagsusulong ng students' rights and welfare, isa sa pangunahing proyekto ngayon ng Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral ay ang pagpapatayo ng mga student centers, student areas, para sa mga eskolar ng bayan at mga organisasyon sa ating sintang paaralan. Pinili naming paglingkuran ang mga eskolar ng bayan sapagkat naniniwala kami na sa pamamagitan ng Konseho ng Mag-aaral ay makapagbibigay kami ng mga proyekto at aktibidad na siyang maglilinang ng kakayahan at mga interes ng mga kapwa natin eskolar ng bayan. As the highest student body in PUP Main Campus, it is our duty to uphold the rights and interests of the whole studenthood. Dito na papasok yung buong layunin ng Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral bilang representante ng mas malawak na hanay ng mga eskolar ng bayan. Kami ang Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral. Certified Orgaling!
Tatak sa pagiging mabuting ehemplo sa mga scholar ng bayan.
Tama, pero syempre, ito hindi lang basta estudyante, yung mga nagsisilbi ng mga ganyan, meron din naman tayong kilalang good example, no? Balita ko, kamustahan mo yan last time, sir.
Wow, updated ka dyan, ha?
Well, kasi may vlog ka na eh.
I know, right? Please follow Dennis Dumrique sa YouTube. Anyway.
Nag-vlog.
Pero anyway, totoo yan, ano? Isa lang naman siya sa mga pride ng PUP. At, syempre pa sa larangan din ng broadcast journalism.
Alam nyo, kilala ko yan.
Ay,
Bakit naman, ma'am?
Dating host yan ng PUP TV season.
Pinapanood ko yun.
Nandito na siya.
Siya nag-revise
Sabi na nga, be.
Anyway, sino ba yan?
Nakasama natin yan si Kuya LA.
Totoo.
Yes, true yan, Ma'am Yel. O siya, kilalanin na natin siya sa ating Sofa Session presents
LA Santos!
Halina't kumustahin at kilalanin ang mga nakaka-proud at huwarang PUP alumni. Ako si Sir Dennis at ito ang Sofa Session, Scholar ng Bayan noon, Scholar para sa Bayan ngayon. Tampok sa ating unang usapan ay isang
Broadcast Journalist Graduate Batch 2013. Nakilala bilang isa sa mga host ng unang season ng Pinakausap-usapan sa Pamantasan. At ngayon, siya ay isa sa pinakabatang radio correspondent sa kanilang istasyon.
Nagbabalita at makikibalita sa atin. Please welcome L.A. Santos! Hello! Kumusta naman, Sir L.A.?
Ayun, okay pa naman at buhay na buhay pa.
Ayun, gusto ko yun. Buhay na buhay pa. Proceed, let me just say congratulations sa achievement mo, no, bilang isang broadcast journalist. So, mayroon tayong mga katanungan, Sir L.A. First question, let's start by telling your story. Ano yung mga namimiss mo sa PUP or bilang isang PUP yan?
Siyempre, Fewa!
Pewa. So, aside from Pewa, ano pa yung mga namimiss mo sa PUP?
E di siyempre, yung kultura natin.
Ano bang sa tingin mo yung culture ng PUP na unique na nagagamit mo ngayon sa
Aba.
humor?
Tinuruan tayo maging mandirigma at magtiis sa mga pampila!
Yun, tama. Kasi
O hindi paninira yun ha?
Exactly.
Ano yun, parang...
Compliment.
Oo, sa loob pa lamang ng paaralan natin, tinuturuan na tayong ako ano man yung mangyayari, posibilidad na mangyayari sa hinarap. Nararamdaman na natin.
Correct. Oo. Tsaka tinuturuan tayo maging patient, diba?
Yun, So, balikan yung mga prof.
Grabe!
Pwede!
Sige nga. Paano ba? Hindi, joke lang.
Ako, personally, hindi naman ako nakaramdam talaga ng, alam mo, sama na loob. Siguro may mga prof talaga na stricto, yung terror kung tawagin.
Oo.
Pero pagka natapos yung course nyo, natapos yung subject mo na yun, ngayon nasa trabaho ka na,
Oo.
ma-realize mo na, may punto pala siya kung ba't siya ganun.
Yes, totoo. Galing. Next question naman natin. How did PUP shape you for your career?
So, round shape. Siguro tinuruan niya akong maging matapang. Yung maging matapang kapag dating sa, yung realidad.
Yes.
Parang hindi ka basta susuko. Kasi sa atin, dito ang training sa atin, siguro sa College of Communication din na, hindi porket wala, hindi mo na gagawin. Gagawa ka talaga ng paraan.
Parang bawal ang bumanga.
Oo, bawal lang mo. Oo. Pero dahil sa PUP, syempre natuto kang humanap ng paraan, naging resourceful ka, nahanap yung mga bagay na yan. Which is nagagamit ko siya ngayon.
Wow. Yeah, that's the true PUPian spirit, di ba? Okay. In one word, describe your PUP journey and why.
Siguro, palaban.
Palaban?
Kailangan talaga maging palaban ka sa buhay.
Yes.
Dahil hindi ka magtatagumpay kung mananatili ka lang sa isang sulok nung kung saan ka nasaan ka man.
And palaban, kasi talaga naman kailangan mong maging matapang dun sa
Oo.
nature ng work mo, di
Yung
ba?
PUP, kilalang palaban talaga yan.
Yes. So, you are now a junior
Radio
correspondent. Kwentuhan mo naman kami, Sir L.A., kung ano yung mga daily routine mo, anong ginagawa mo.
Junior radio correspondent po ako sa Super Radio DCWB. Ang karaniwang beat ko, police beat. Kasi usually panggabing duty ako.
Yes.
So ang trabaho ko, ay syempre mag-report ng mga crime news. Kung ano yung mga nagaganap sa gabi. Ano yung ibig sabihin, sir, na gabi ay paro patayan? Yung mga crime news, mga police stories. Oo.
Mr. L.A., last question na to. Oh my gosh. Siguro na lang, advice na lang pala. Okay? Ano yung mga advice mo sa mga future journalist, future broadcast journalist? Na PUP yan, ha?
Sa mga taga-COC, yung mga kumukuha po ng journalism, mga broadcast communication research, ituloy nyo lang yung pangarap ninyo. Tandaan nyo palagi na pagka nasa realidad na kayo, kalimutan nyo na matalino kayo. Ang pinakamahalaga ay marunong kang makisama. Kasi kahit gaano ka katalino, kung hindi ka marunong makisama, iiwan ka ng mga tao nasa paligid mo. Pagpatuloy mo lang yung pangarap mo, huwag kang susuko, maging matapang, at siyempre, matuto ka makisama sa taong nasa paligid mo.
Patunay si Mr. L.A. Santos na dating scholar ng bayan noon ay nagsisilbing inspirasyon at nagbibigay karangalan sa ating sintang paaralan ngayon. With that, see you next time. Ito ang Sofa Session.
Maraming salamat, L.A. Santos, nagbabalita! Dennis Enrique!
Sir, na-change ka rin. Nakatayo na mag-teacher.
Sorry, nadala lang ako. Kasi
Okay na lang.
ang galing kasi niya. Tsaka, na-realize ko, ang hirap pala. Tsaka nakakapagod din magbalita sa radyo.
Tama, alam mo, kailangan marami kang alam.
Oo, totoo.
Tsaka alam niyo ba, isa siya sa pinakabatang radio news anchor sa station.
Yes, in fairness naman talaga.
So, marami pa kayong aabangan sa mga susunod naming episode.
True.
O kaya kayo, mga schoolmates, para maging updated sa usap-usapan, make sure na you are following your social media account.
Just search for www.facebook.com/PUP
don't forget to watch our previous episode
Yes.
at ang episode na to sa ating YouTube channel. Just subscribe at PUP Creative.
Yes, so schoolmates! Hanggang sa susunod na usapan dito sa paborito yung online tambayan. Ito ang
Pinakausap-usapan sa pamantasan!
Ano sa tanong mo, sir?
Huwag kang kabahan, kayang-kaya mo to.
Pag-gising ko sa umaga, nag-uulap ka to.
Ay, typical. Gusto ko marinig, paano yung pag-report ni L.A. Santos kapag
Wala.
nagbabar? Oo, syempre sample naman, di ba?
Pero
Sample
gusto niya
tayo
aksidente. Dennis, nakahadusay pa dito sa aking harapan. Itong isang hindi pa nakikilalang lalaki, makarang pagbabarilin ng mga hindi pa nakikilalang suspect dito sa Santa Mesa. Puting lab gown, naka-itim na pantalon at napakagandang sapatos.
Emerson is a global technology and engineering leader. We operate in over 150 countries. We are 110,000 employees worldwide. And here in the Philippines, we have over 2,000 employees.
My name is Vicky Florento. I'm from Dell Philippines. I'm handling the university relations and services hiring.
Pagasa Steel supplies concrete reinforcing bars to the Philippines' booming construction industry. We have been the leading supplier of quality steel bars for the past 52 years.
EGS is an ERIKA company. It is one of the fastest growing BPO companies in the Philippines right now.
I'm Cecil Venancio and I'm Branding and Communications Director of Sykes Asia.
We don't decide whether you're from a top-tier university or a state university. We decide based on our assessments that includes exams and interviews. Having said that, a lot of Dell's workforce in the Philippines are from PUP.
55 to 80 hires annually, those coming from PUP alone. And as a matter of fact, 14 of the homegrown employees who started from staff and supervisors have been promoted.
Currently, we have 13 employees from the PUP. They're working in a different field, so most of them are an engineer, some are in sales, most of them are in the higher position.
There's a huge pool of students that we can really harvest from, and we know the reputation that they bring. So we're glad that we have a university like PUP that we can rely on for our future employees.
I love the graduates of PUP. They're not only fun to work with, but you can rely on them. They are very, very dependable.
PUP graduates are an exact match and fit to Pagasa Steel's mission and vision.
The reason why we prefer the PUP graduates is the fact that we notice that they have a common denominator, very hardworking. You see, whatever happens, they'd still work. Even if it's raining, they'd still come to work. You give them additional tasks, they'd accept. They are resilient.
Very passionate aside from being resilient, because we can see that they're very dedicated with their job, and we've seen a lot of PUP graduates not just in one department.
They turn out to adapt very well and adjust well to our company here in the Philippines. They're productive employees and they stay with us for a long time.
What stands out sa PUP graduate is their loyalty sa company namin. Integrity and ethics, drive for results, intellectual capacity, and adaptability. So when we hire PUPians, they have this kind of competencies.
Of course, they're very intelligent, responsible. Responsible in a sense because whenever we meet these graduates and we ask them what are their future plans, they would always come up with answers like helping out their family, or because I'm done with school, I'll help out another sibling. So you would know already that these kids, even before they actually embark on certain work, they already have goals in mind. They're not maarte, no? Whatever you give them, they know that if it's for the purpose of the job, they will do it. And so they have, they're the ones that survive the challenges of work. They don't shirk away from responsibilities. They're the type who whatever the job requires, they're up for the challenge.
PUPNs enable people everywhere to grow and thrive.
PUP is one of the pillars of the nation because it is an institution that provides good graduates and people who really contribute to the success of the community or to the success of the country.
To all the people associated with PUP, if you're a graduate, congratulations, and you should be proud of yourselves. For those of you that are students, please continue the tradition, the proud legacy that your school has. Some of you, PUP, you work for us now. We appreciate you. We know you're good employees. For those of you that might work for us in the future, please consider us. We'd love to have you. We know that you make a great employee for Emerson.
PUPNs, bring everything you are. If you have big ideas, let's talk. Come work where passion meets possibility. You can visit jobs.del.com for opportunities.
To pursue your dreams and work hard for whatever endeavor you will choose. And in the event that you will choose to apply in one of the fastest BPO companies in the Philippines, I would like to invite you to apply in EGS, an Alorica company, because our doors are open for all of you.
To all the PUPNs, let's create a size of smile together.
SMART is very happy to have PUP graduates now enjoying their career and let them live more.
Hashtag Sites to PUP. We will support you in more ways than one.
Tara na, maging magkasama na tayo. Mabuhay ang PUP.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ayaw mag-iliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, dulot na ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka masisingil, sa lahat ng tulog, sa silang at sa lalim mong bahang, maging
Hi, I'm Engineer Florinda H. Oquindo, Director of the Alumni Relations and Career Development Office. The role of our office is to keep connections among students and alumni, provides complete range of services to students, alumni, and employers in the area of career development, graduates and professional schools preparations, employee relations, and campus recruitment. We also provide alumni and students with the tools and resources to help find success in all professional endeavors. To all freshmen, please come and visit us. Our office is located at N209 North Wing 2nd floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to everyone and welcome to BALIK SINTANG PAARALAN, the PUP Alumni Webinar Series 2022. Our event for today will surely give us a lot of learning about our topic, navigating a multicultural workplace. It is my delight to be your MC today for this informative webinar. I am Mabel Villagarde. I hope you will find the program we have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging. But to start with, if you have any concerns regarding this webinar, you may PM me through our Zoom chat in a polite way. Ganun naman talaga dapat, right? Kahit saan man tayo naroroon, let us choose to be polite to everyone. Also, may I just share one of the objectives of this activity with everyone, especially sa ating participants, kasi para sa inyo din naman po ito. One of its objectives is to inspire our PUP students by listening to the story of success, grit, and determination of our notable alumni so that you, students, will be more motivated to continue being the best PUPian in the workplace to be or anywhere in the world. So, before anything else, I would like to know kung sino dito ang may mga planong magtrabaho sa ibang bansa after graduation. Please type fly sa mga may planong magtrabaho or manirahan sa ibang bansa someday. Let's see. There, ayan, may nag-raise ng hand. There, ayan. How about, let's type fly. Wala ba? Wala pa. So, marami pang pipiliin na magstay sa atin dito sa Pilipinas after graduation. Right? Okay, maybe siguro kukuha muna ng experience. Something like that. Okay. So, very good. Then, we still choose to be in the Philippines. But then again, di ba, kahit sa Pilipinas, marami tayong makakasalamuha na taga-ibang bansa, taga-ibang lugar, iba ang kultura, like that, okay? So, I just wanna know also kung sino dito ang may planong I just wanna hold you forevermore. Yon, hindi ko na abot yung forevermore sa airport. Sino dito? Napapanood niyo ba yon sa YouTube yung biglang may tatakbo tapos tatugtog ng I just wanna hold you forevermore. Meron rin dito? Meron ba dito? Let's see. Sorry, hindi ako makakita hindi ko matingnan ang aking Zoom, ano ba yun? View? Okay, so hindi ko siya makita. So thank you. Meron ba? Okay, but kidding aside, class, our topic for today is very important for us. Why? In a way na magagamit niyo siya kahit ngayong estudyante pa lang kayo. At lalong-lalo na kung kayo ay magtatrabaho na. Because our speaker today, who is our notable alumni from BS in Industrial and Organizational Psychology, will talk about navigating a multicultural workplace. Interesting, right? And very timely. So let us bring it on. So to kick off this morning's program, let us all listen to our university president deliver his opening remarks, Dr. Manuel M. Mumi.
A pleasant day to everyone, to our university executive officials, VP Tom Testor, deans and directors, department heads, AVP Floro Quindo, OJT coordinators, fellow faculty members, and to all our guest speakers, and most importantly, to our beloved students. Welcome and thank you for attending the BALIK Sintang PAARALAN activity. Thank you to ARTDO for organizing and hosting this event, which provides a great opportunity for the university to continue to engage with our alumni. Our alumni, as stakeholders, will always play a critical role in fostering a culture of excellence at our university. Their voices are very important and significant in pointing us in the right direction, being key contributors to their respective industries, and we recognize their roles as our university's ambassadors. I believe that our alumni are always eager to give back to their alma mater, and this webinar series provides an excellent opportunity for them to do so. Thank you to all of our alumni guest speakers for taking the time to mentor your fellow scholar ng bayan. Your many stories of tribulations and triumphs will undoubtedly inspire our students who want to follow in your footsteps and use education to achieve success. Your presence here today sends a message of hope to all PUPians that despite many limitations, it is possible to rise and that success is within reach with hard work, determination, discipline, and drive. To all of our student participants, may you be inspired and learn from our guest speakers who have already walked the path you're about to take. Listen to the valuable lessons they are about to share, ask questions, and take advantage of this opportunity to gain an understanding of the topics they will be discussing. Always remember that the first step toward achieving one's goals is to learn from others, followed by the courage to apply what you have learned in your own life. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, kaya huwag kayong matakot mangarap sapagkat kung mayroon kayong courage at saka determination and you keep on trying, I am sure na makakamit ninyo ang mga magagandang pangarap. Kagaya ng ating mga matatagumpay na alumni na magbabahagi ng kanilang mga karanasan bilang scholar ng bayan. May you, like our successful alumni, finally find the path you want to take and believe that you can be the best at it. And may you never forget the words of our PUP hymn, gagamitin ang karunungan mula sa iyo para sa bayan. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang Sintang Paaralan at pagpalain po tayo ng Panginoong May Kapal.
Thank you so much, President Muhi, for the heartwarming welcome remarks. So before we get started, I'm going to go through some reminders to ensure the smooth flow of our webinar. Please, first is, please note that your microphones and cameras are automatically turned off as you enter the Zoom meeting. Next, if you have questions for our speaker, please maximize the use of the chat box, which can be found at the bottom section of the screen and comment section for our participants in the FB live stream. Make your questions concise and direct. Also, by joining this webinar, you agree to participate in a recorded webinar that will be posted on related platforms such as websites, social media pages, and others. Kindly have your name and what school organization you are connected to in our Zoom meeting. Also, digital certificate will be released 2 to 3 weeks after the conduct and be given to those who attended, participated, and completed the evaluation form at the end of the session. Lastly, kindly visit the PUP Alumni Facebook page and YouTube channel, the PUP Art.tv, and don't forget to like and share the live stream video so that other students and alumni can also learn from and inspire by this webinar. Okay, I think everything is clear now, and we are ready to continue our webinar. Allow me, everyone, to introduce our keynote speaker for today's webinar. Ms. ERIKA Joy E. Carganilla, as I have said a while ago, is a graduate of BS in Industrial and Organizational Psychology here in our Sintang Paaralan PUP. Her professional goal is to help Salesforce and MuleSoft rock stars in Australia and Manila in taking their careers to the next level. Currently, she is a people engagement specialist at Maverick, Australia. But before she got to Maverick, she was a talent acquisition specialist at PhilPAP, where she provides contextual, timely, and accurate advice, information, and options to managers and employees about sourcing and recruitment of staff. Her achievements continue to soar high as she received an Excellence Award in PhilCA, International Design, the first and only pasensya na po sa aking background, the first and only online digital design networking contest for graphic and web designers. She also successfully hosted many Facebook Live events like this. Okay, so allow me also to mention some of her so many significant contributions in her career journey. Miss ERIKA created recruitment templates for the global talent acquisition team to help efficiently communicate with candidates. She initiated the creation of the offboarding checklist to streamline the process and help provide complete and accurate information to the new employee. Also, she was commended for advocating cost-efficient recruitment methods and managing a large volume of executive corporate roles while successfully filling positions for volume hiring of business development and account managers. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker for today. Let us give her a heart reaction, okay, to Miss ERIKA Joy E. Carganilla.
Wow, thank you so much, Miss Mabel, for that introduction. Nakaka-pressure naman po. Well, good morning to everyone, and thank you so much for the PUP Alumni Association for having me this morning. It is truly a privilege to be invited as one of your speakers. So I was actually watching the videos presented earlier, and wow, it's very nostalgic to be back here. Well, at least virtually. Thank you so much. I'm actually very excited to be here today. And again, thank you, Miss Mabel, for that beautiful introduction. So good morning to all of our faculty staff, to the university president, and to all of our beloved students. And more importantly, good morning to all of our PUP alumni. And of course, our guests viewers here on Zoom and also on Facebook. Thank you so much, guys, for attending this webinar today. So before I begin with my talk this morning, I just want to inform you that whenever we conduct webinars like this, I really wanted to be as engaging, as active, as live as possible. So if you have noticed in the comment section, both here on Zoom and also on our Facebook page, I've been sending messages about a giveaway alert. That is not a scam. That's not a scam. It's true. Aside from being your speaker today, I also want to give back by providing some small trinkets of appreciation later at the end of the webinar. So that's actually very easy. We will pick 4 lucky winners at the end of the webinar. All you have to do is first follow the official Facebook page of Maverick. I've already included the link there. And then second, make sure that you share this webinar link so that it will reach more audience, not only from the PUP community, but also your friends, your family. Everyone will benefit from this talk this morning. So please share it and comment for more engagement. And then the third one is to make sure that you include or you send your questions for later. Again, I want this to be not the typical formal talk or webinar. I want this to be engaging. So I'm excited to answer your questions later, and I hope that I could provide very clear answers later. So make sure that you prepare your questions by sending them in the Slido link that I have also provided. All right, so let's begin. I prepared a short presentation this morning. Let me just share my screen. All right, so you should be able to see my screen now. Okay, so we have a very interesting topic this morning. Like what Ms. Mabel said, we are going to talk about navigating a multicultural workplace. Okay, and before we begin, I would love to share a quote with you. So it is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. This is from Other Lord, a writer and activist. So you will, as we go through our my topics this morning, you will understand why I chose this quote, especially the part where it says it is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. Okay. Before we proceed with our talk, I would love to introduce myself again. Aside from the information that Ms. Mabel already shared, I am a proud graduate of BS Industrial and Organizational Psychology from batch 2013. So shout out to my batchmates from BSIOP. I know one of my batchmates are actually watching Denise Balaguer, so shout out to you. Thank you so much. Currently, I work as a people engagement specialist at Maverick. So Maverick, just to share a little bit of background about our company, Maverick is a 4-year-old tech consulting company based in Sydney and Melbourne, but we have our offices in Australia, primarily in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and Adelaide, and also we're stretching our operations in Canberra this year. And of course, we also have our office here in the Philippines, and we're located in Sheridan in Mandaluyong. So we specialize in web and mobile applications. So if we have any Salesforce or MuleSoft developers here, I would love to feel the love this morning. So comment in our comment section if you're a Salesforce or MuleSoft developer, if your work is related to Salesforce or MuleSoft, I'd love to connect with you. All right. And of course, I've been a talent acquisition practitioner for more than 9 years. Yes, you've read that correctly. I've worked in different industries throughout my 9-year career. So I've been in the business process outsourcing company, the Teleperformance, and then I've also been in recruitment process outsourcing, which is Corn Ferry, and I've also worked in the sales industry for BuyerLink. It's a California-based company for hospitality. I've worked with Oyo Philippines, and for software, I've also worked with WebCreek, a South American company. For a digital agency, of course, Filta, which is also an Australian company. And then for currently, Maverick is also an Australian IT consulting company. So in my 9 year of experience, I got to work with different scale company, like from small, medium, and large scale companies. And it's actually very exciting because I got to work with a lot of nationalities, teammates from different countries, both remote and also on site. So a little bit about myself outside work. I am a lover of cats. I have 2 cats. I love traveling to local beaches, and I also enjoy Southeast Asian cuisine. And also, I a sucker for psychological thrillers. I love that self-help books, and I'm a certified Swiftie and Potterhead. I also enjoy watching comedy shows like Friends, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Big Bang Theory, and Modern Family. And of course, I'm also passionate about supporting non-government organizations such as Child Hope Foundation and Kite Foundation for cancer patients. So yeah, that's a brief of introduction about myself. Okay, so before I start with my topic this morning, I just want to set the record straight. I am not a culture expert. I don't have a master's degree or a doctorate degree in culture. I'm not a professor, I'm not a teacher, but you might wonder, so why are you here today? It's very simple. I've been in the industry for more than 9 years, and I want to share my knowledge and personal experiences with you, because especially to the students who are watching this, and even to the fresh graduates, or even those in the working class already, there will come a time that an opportunity will knock at your door. And when that opportunity knocks, you want to be 100%, if not 100%, at least almost ready to grab that opportunity. Okay? And I hope that with this webinar today, I'll be able to help you with that. All right. Our topic today. So this is going to be a short webinar, but I want to make sure that we have enough time for the questions and answers later. The first topic is defining multiculturalism, advantages and challenges of working in a multicultural workplace, and of course, adapting or navigating in a multicultural workplace. All right, so let's start with defining multiculturalism. So I've asked the help of a friend named Google to help us define multiculturalism, multicultural. And these are the top three definitions that I find very useful and very accurate. So the first one is the definition of a multicultural workplace. It's one where employees come from a variety of backgrounds. So I want you to pay attention to the highlighted words, which is a variety of backgrounds. So when we say a variety of backgrounds, we're not only talking about race, gender, ethnicity, or religion, but we're also talking about age, education, disability, or sexual orientation. Next, a multicultural organization is one that has a workforce that includes people from diverse backgrounds. See? There's that word again, background, across all departments, and which offers them equal opportunities for input and advancement within the company. This time, I want you to pay attention to the words equal opportunity. So when we say equal opportunity, this pertains to the absence of discrimination or prejudice toward people based on their race, religion, ethnicity, gender, sex, sexual orientation, or disability. So it's actually very self-explanatory. Equal opportunity. Absent, it means zero, wala, non-existent. Okay? Parang sasabihin na naman, huhugot yung iba. Parang love life ko lang. Yes, correct. Parang love life ng iba, non-existent. So that is what we mean when I say absence of discrimination. Walang discrimination or prejudice in the workplace. Next, multiculturalism refers to the concept in which different cultural or racial groups in society have equal rights, there's that term again, and opportunities, and none is marginalized or regarded as insignificant. So our focus now here is none is marginalized. Okay? So ano ba yung ibig sabihin nun? It means that we are giving equal attention to all the contributions of all groups. We are not just highlighting a certain person or a certain group because this certain person or this certain group belongs to a certain ethnicity or a certain race or a certain religion. No. It doesn't work that way. When we say none is marginalized, equal. The highlighting of achievement, the commendation is equal to everyone who has contributed in that team. Okay. I hope I'm not going too fast. Let me know lang in your comment section if I'm going too fast, okay? All right. So this is a picture that I'd like to share with you. This is not our entire team. So this is just one of our many virtual company events. As you can see, I'm the one over here, and that's my teammates from Australia and also the Philippines. So this was one time when we had a online virtual celebration for our 4th year anniversary, and we invited a Paralympian to also do a talk in the company. It's inspirational talk actually in the company. So as you can see, I have a couple of Filipino colleagues, and some of them are based here in the Philippines and others are also based in Australia, but we're actually a pretty good mix of nationalities. If I remember correctly, we have Indian, Sri Lankan, we have Russian, we have British, Australian, we have Chinese, Korean. Yeah, it's really a very diverse group of people that I work with on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, all right, that's just an intermission. Okay, so now for the second topic, let's talk about advantages of working in a multicultural environment. There are actually a lot of advantages in working in a multicultural environment. Excuse me, but I've narrowed it down to a couple without priority. So the first one is innovations. Innovations. When multicultural employees come together, of course, they bring with them a wealth of experience and best practices. When for our students who are watching, when we say best practices, these are the things or strategies that have tested and have been used over a period of time that have proven to be very useful, um, very effective in certain scenarios. So that's what we call best practice. So this adds value to the organization because it helps to improve the range of products and services available to their clients. Okay, so innovation is creating something from an existing product or service already. So to further explain, when we say innovation, like for example, someone let's use our company as an example. First, if someone is already residing in Australia, you're pretty much familiar with the challenges or the needs of the people in that area. But then someone comes along, let's say, for example, um, from India. So they have a different set of needs that they usually offer their clients or their customers in India. And when that person joins the company in Australia, that person's best practices or experience might be able to contribute to the company by giving suggestions that this is what we used to do in India, and this is what worked for our clients before. And why is that going to be helpful for a company based in Australia? Because this company based in Australia also has clients or customers who are also from India. So at least when we add the variety of services or product, it adds value to the company. Okay. Next naman is productivity. So I'm not sure if you've heard this, but for those in the working class, it's actually a very popular term. A good team is like a well-oiled machine. Yes. So I completely agree with that phrase because each member of a multicultural team has a specialty or specialization. And when they are placed at the right place, at the right time, they get the job done correctly and on time. Even if it's not in a multicultural setup. Let's say, for example, in Jollibee. Okay, gamitin natin siyang example. So as you will notice, there is someone handling the cashier area, and then there's someone in charge of frying the chicken, someone in charge of packing, someone in charge of handing over the orders for drive-through. So they have their own areas. Okay, and when one person excels in that area and you put them there, mas mabilis the production. That's why we say productivity, because they are very good at what they do and they are placed in that right spot right there. That's why mabilis yung transition from one task to another. Okay, so what happens if the person that is put in that area is not an expert? So there's going to be some delays in the delivery, or there might also be some product quality concerns with the product because that person is not the expert. But if the opposite happens, if you put the right person with the right skill at the right place and the right time, it will definitely provide productivity to the whole team. Of course, when projects are done on time, clients are happy, the bosses are happy, everyone is happy. All right. Next, creativity. So there are times when, especially to our students who are, on the creative side of things like designers, artists, recording artists, painters. So they are usually they prefer to be left alone. But just like everyone else, there will always come a time when your creativity is blocked, or if you're a writer, they call it a writer's block. And sometimes it's helpful to be left alone, but it's also helpful to have the advice or opinion of a second or third person because it will give you a different perspective. Or sometimes they don't even give you the right answer, but when they ask the right question, it triggers the flow of your creative juices. Okay. So that's why when you're working in a multicultural environment, it's nice to have the opinion. It's nice to have the advice of your teammates from different cultures. Because you don't know which one might work for you or might work for the team unless you hear them, right? So that's it. And then next is problem solving. So similar to creativity, when you're working in a multicultural team, you get to work with people who have approached in different who have who like to approach problems in different ways. So one thing I've noticed that, for example, for Filipinos, um, often when they encounter a roadblock or a challenge doing a task or a project, they keep it to themselves. They don't ask. Nahihiya. That's the common thing that I've noticed. I'm not saying all, but that's what I mostly noticed with some of my colleagues, not only in my current company, but in other previous companies as well. So tendency is they don't ask. Sometimes they even just assume what they know. All right. But their Western counterparts, particularly Americans, English, Australians, they don't shy away from asking for help or advice. If they don't know something, for example, in our current company, we use Slack. Slack is like MS Teams or Skype, or for students, it's Messenger, but it's more professional. So what our teammates usually do, they put their question in Slack, and anyone who has the answer just provide their response through that Slack channel. Okay, so that's one of the major differences that I've noticed. But when you're working in a multicultural environment, this type of problems, like being shy from asking or asking for advice from your colleagues, slowly this type of behavior changes, which is a positive thing. Okay, why? Because they see, ay, yung ibang teammates ko nagtanong. Okay din pala magtanong, walang masama. 'Di ba? So, that's one beauty of working in a multicultural environment. Okay, so you are exposed to things that are out of the ordinary or not, you're not sanay. So, and then eventually, you gradually become accustomed to it. And then in the long run, you find it beneficial to have adopted that behavior. Okay. So again, I'm not saying that you adapt everything. You just choose the good one. All right. Next, employees growth. So I guess it goes without saying that when you work with people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different upbringings, you gradually pick up the best practices. And then it slowly embeds in your own DNA and it makes you better. A very good example that I could share with you when I was working in this California-based sales company way back, I think about 3 years ago. So I have two teammates. They can definitely converse in English, but they're not very confident, in, especially in speaking with our teammates in California, who are also who also have different nationalities. Because if I remember correctly, We have teammates who are Iranian, Armenian, Korean, Chinese, and there were also some Filipinos in the team, some Middle Eastern, Indian. So it was very normal for us to see them in video calls or exchange email with them from time to time. But it's really different when you're speaking with them compared to when you're doing emails. Because for emails, you can edit it, unlike when you're speaking with them personally. It has to be very spontaneous, right? So going back to my two teammates, during the first few months of their employment, I noticed that they were not very confident. But because they were exposed to a multicultural team, they have gotten used to it. They've gotten used to speaking normally in English, being more confident than usual in speaking in English, because what they notice is it's normal. They don't have a choice. Okay. They were just conscious primarily because they were afraid that some of us, their Filipino colleagues, would hear them. And that's what actually they're more concerned about, not with speaking English with our multicultural team based in California. So as the time went by, they became more confident, it became more normal, and then they were no longer conscious of speaking in English, either to our Filipino team or even to our multicultural team in California. So yeah, that's to go back our advantages. We're talking about innovation, productivity, creativity, problem solving, and of course, employees growth. So I would like to share, before we proceed to the next topic, I would like to share another picture. So this is another company event that we've attended. Well, I wish I attended, but this was actually in Australia, and our team in Sydney and Melbourne joined this. It was during one of the Salesforce biggest Salesforce event this year. So as you can see naman, it's really a varied group of people with different nationalities. So very, very exciting. Okay, now we've already discussed the advantages of working in a multicultural team, right? So now we're going to talk about the challenges in a multicultural workplace. Before I proceed, I know that most of our audience this morning are students, but can you guys give like a comment or a heart or a like emoji if you know anyone who's currently working for a global company or a multinational company? Can I see any hands, any reaction? So any BPO is counted as a multicultural type of organization. Do we have anyone? Or all students lang muna right now? Ayan, I think shy. Nandiyan shy type. Shy type ba? Mga PUPs? Parang hindi naman. Okay, sige. Mamaya, yung shy type yun dapat ma-remove natin yan sa question and answer portion, okay? All right. So now let's proceed. So challenges in a multicultural workplace. At first, it was supposed to be disadvantages, but I thought that's very negative. So I changed the term disadvantage to challenges, because when you say challenges, it has a more positive sound to it, because when usually challenges have we have ways to overcome those. Okay, so let's start with the obvious. The first one is communication. And when we say communication, yes, this is actually the first one. Very simple and also very complicated at the same time. This is actually the hardest to overcome. Why? Because of course, number one is the language barrier. Lucky for us, Filipinos, English is our second language. We're anywhere you go, any public place, in the mall, you go to the market, you even go to the bus station, you meet people online, we can converse in English. We understand English. But Erica, why is communication still the hardest? Because even if we are using a universal language, it's still difficult to understand some expressions. Of course, nandiyan din yung accent. And then, especially if English is not their mother tongue, like for example, us Filipinos, we also have a Filipino accent, right? And then another concern is indirect or direct feedback. So let's analyze that one by one. So language barrier. Um, there is what there is a thing that we call conversational English and business English. So for others, communication becomes a barrier because they can converse in a day-to-day basis in conversational English, but when they are already presenting to clients, they are presenting to customers, they're providing proposals, it's a little bit different because there are certain terms that you don't use on a daily basis that you have to use in a meeting, an on-site, a face-to-face meeting, or a virtual meeting. So number one, communication agad. Diba? For example, okay, so remember sometimes when you go to the doctor and then the doctor, you ask for the diagnosis if you're not feeling good, and then you ask for the doctor, doc, what's wrong with me? And then the doctor provides you with different medical terms, and you're like, doc, English, please. What does that mean? Because you're not very familiar with the jargon used by the professional. So that also happens in the workplace. So that's the first example that we have. Next, accent. So here's the funny thing. I work in an Australian company, right? So majority, of course, our main mode of communication is English. But the funny thing about Australians is that even if they're already speaking in English, there are a lot of instances wherein you still don't get to understand what they're saying. Primarily because they have their own language. Like for example, Australian. They are not usually called Australians. They call themselves Aussie. So they change yung words with Y or IE. For example, firefighter, they use fiery. Tasmania, it's a place in Australia, they call it Tassie. So if ikaw, Filipino, it's your first time to work in an Australian company, you wonder, what do these words mean? It's English, but I don't know what it means. It's because they have their own expression. And that is also the thing, like for example, if you're working for a UK company or even a US company, they have different terms for normal things. Like I think in the UK in the UK they don't call it train or MRT. Here we call it MRT, but they call it the tube, or simple things like your refrigerator. It's called for other countries it's called fridge, it's called ref, different. So ikaw na working in a multicultural workplace, sometimes when you're talking to someone and then you mention something and then they're like, huh? What are you talking about? What's that? It's because our words, our terms might have different meanings with other in a different culture or in a different country, and that's totally fine because they also have words, they also have phrases, they also have idiomatic expressions that are not the same here in the Philippines. So, ang tanong, sinong mag-a-adjust? Okay, mamaya we will answer that. But yeah, next is difficulty expressing if not speaking in mother tongue. My gosh, for those in the working class already, you might have experienced this, but sometimes, especially if you're customer facing or client facing, there are instances now you are so frustrated because you have a customer who cannot understand what you're saying. Pero English yung ginagamit mo na language. And it's so frustrating because you can explain it better in your mother tongue. And you just can't do it. So there goes that communication barrier again. Next, direct or indirect feedback. This is actually very important, especially to the fresh graduates. In the Filipino culture, we sugarcoat things. We are not direct. We are not blunt. Ayaw natin yung pag humingi ng feedback. For example, the designers. So you're gonna be putting forward a design. Tapos ang feedback sa'yo, ang pangit ng kulay, ang pangit nito, bakit ganyan? I-adjust mo yan. Ayaw natin ng ganon. Usually, what we like when we get feedback is subtle, sweet, yung iba gusto sandwich effect. So what's the sandwich effect? Sandwich is positive, negative, positive. So sasabihin mo na, oh, I like that you were able to complete your task on time. This is actually a very good color, but I think for the texture, you should use this instead. I think that you could place their you could change the font size to this instead. But overall, it's a very good design, ha? Keep it up. Good work. Ganun normally sa Filipinos. But you know what, guys? With other nationalities, they don't do that. As in, if they provide a feedback, no, it's not gonna work. I don't like it. You have to change it. It's not rude. Sometimes tayong Filipinos, we are a little bit too sensitive. Again, I'm not saying all of us, but there are employees na ay sensitive. Ay, bakit ganon? Bakit naman ganon yung feedback niya sa akin? Bakit naman hindi man lang niya na-notice yung effort ko? Guys, one thing that you should know is that you should not take it personally. They don't mean anything. It's just the normal way that especially Westerners provide feedback. All right? It's nothing rude. It's just they're always busy. They're always nagmamadali. That's why they want to say things as simple as fast as possible. No hard feelings, nothing personal. It's not you. It's just your professional feedback. Okay? Next, work ethic. All right. I hope you guys are sending your questions. I'm very excited to answer them later. Okay. Second is work ethic. So here in the Philippines, most of the time, the organizations are higher in a hierarchy position or hierarchy level. When you're working in a Western company, like for example, again, in an Australian company, most of the time it's flat. The organization is flat. So what does that mean? So when you say flat, it means you have no level of hierarchy kung kanino kang mag-raise ng questions mo or provide feedback. Everyone is treated the same. Walang boss, walang manager, walang supervisor. You're all treated equally the same. And lucky for me, that's the type of organization that we have. But for other companies naman, they have hierarchies. For example, if you're a staff, next sa'yo could be assistant supervisor, and then supervisor, and then assistant manager, manager. So hindi ka pwede, if you have a concern, diretso ka kay manager. No, hindi pwede yan. Kailangan, you have to follow your hierarchy of organization. And it sometimes become a challenge in a multicultural workplace. Like for example, if you're used to the flat industry and then pumasok ka sa isang company wherein they have this hierarchy of organization, ang daming levels of approval, and it becomes frustrating. Unlike when you are in a flat organization, may concern ka, boss, this is my concern, or I think we can do this and that. You can approach anyone anytime about your concern, and hindi sila mababother na, oy, bakit hindi mo yan na-raise kay supervisor, or why didn't you tell your manager about it? It's not a big deal. So there's going to be a little bit of adjustment when it comes to the hierarchy. And then another example for work ethics, why it is a little bit of a challenge. Kasi for example, in the Philippines, medyo, I don't know, but this is just my observation. People are more uptight with deadlines, with targets, with quota, with KPIs. But for other companies, they are more output based than hourly based. So for example, if you work 8 hours a day, sa normal Filipino setting, especially sa mga retail companies or business to consumer companies, they're more focused on, oh, what do you do in your 8-hour period? Dapat this, and that. Pero sa other companies, they're more focused on output. They don't care how many hours you have, how many hours per day you have worked on a certain project or a certain task, as long as you meet the deadline, as long as you meet the expectations or the quality of the project or the task, all good. So may challenge sa part ngayon because, like for example, with Filipinos, parang sometimes may adjustment if the environment is too lax. And then other way naman, kapag ka naman too uptight naman yung management, nag-a-adjust din sila. So, yeah, it becomes a challenge kasi yung period for adapting to a new environment, it will take some time. And normally, it based on studies, it's usually about 1 to 3 months before they get used to a new work environment. Okay, next is relationship openness. When we talk about relationships, oh, hindi to like romantic relationship ha. When we say challenges in the workplace, what we mean is building friendship or relationship with your boss, with your teammates, with people in the organization. For us Filipinos, one good thing that I've noticed is that we are able to confidently build friendships, relationships with our teammates, with our coworkers after work. Yung iba, they go out, they eat. Yung iba, nag-hangout sa karaoke. Yung iba naman, they like to drink. And this friendship, I've noticed, Filipinos are very particular about making friends in the workplace. For other cultures, that's not a thing. For other culture, you and I are workmates. We're colleagues. After work, I don't care what you do. I don't care where you go. Just do your thing. I'll do my thing. But when the time comes again, we meet again tomorrow, Monday, or another work day. Back to normal tayo. Friends tayo sa workplace. After shift, no more contact, no more messaging on Messenger, no more following on Instagram. For other cultures, that's totally normal. But for us Filipinos, we crave for intimacy, for friendship, for relationship. So it's very important for Filipinos to be able to build that rapport, to be able to have that set of friends in the workplace. So yeah, it becomes a challenge because sometimes we think, ayaw niya ba sa akin? What's wrong with me? Why can't why does this person doesn't want to go out with me after work? Is it me? No, it's not you. Again, it's a cultural thing. It's because in their culture, they have a separate life for work and they also have a separate life for non-work. It's just as simple as that. It's nothing personal. Okay. And then conflict. So conflict in the workplace, this has actually a lot of meanings. But when we say conflict here, we're talking about misunderstanding. Kasi for example, meron kang workmate, let's say, na hindi Filipino in the workplace, and then nagbasa ka ng email, and in the email you think, ay bakit parang galit siya sa email? Parang ina-attack niya ako sa email. But the thing is, it's normal. For the one who sent that, who's not a Filipino, it's neutral. The message, the tone is neutral. It's just the Filipino employee giving tone in the email. And then there are also instances wherein this becomes a conflict in the workplace because we don't want to speak up. Gusto natin kinikim-kim. And then what happens is it becomes a bigger and bigger issue. Sumasabog. That is a negative thing that I've noticed about Filipino work colleagues in the workplace. But for other cultures, it's not like that. They like confrontation. Tayo kasi in Filipinos, we're non-confrontational people. So gusto lang natin sometimes yes lang ng yes, agree lang ng agree para matapos na lang lahat. So that becomes a conflict because you are not finding a remedy, but you're just saying yes because you just want to get it over with. You don't want to handle it anymore. Ayaw mo nang harapin yung issue. You just want to let it pass by and hope and wish or hope that in the coming weeks or the coming months, it will never be discussed again. Pero yeah, uy, madami ako nakikitang heart reaction. Madaming nagla-like. I guess madaming nakaka-relate, ah. So yeah, we'll talk about that more later. And then next, of course, leadership. This is very common in the workplace because different cultures, different types of leadership. With Filipinos, we like it na authoritative. But with other cultures, especially sa Western, I've noticed na they're very cool. They don't even think of themselves, especially sa mga big boss, managers, even yung mga vice president, president, CEOs, co-founders, hindi pumapasok sa isip yung title na boss ako. Dapat formal ka sa akin when you talk. No, it's not like that. So sometimes it might be a good or a bad thing, but yeah, most of the time it becomes an issue or it becomes a challenge because if you're not familiar with the leadership style or the management style of your boss, it becomes difficult for you to build that relationship with him or her. And it's also the same problem with the leaders. If you don't know your subordinate's preferred management style, because not when you're managing a team, one size doesn't fit all. So another challenge is pag iba-iba yung culture, meron kang team member, they want to be coached one-on-one kayo. Pero yung others, gusto nila na-coach sila, gusto nila na-highlight sila sa meeting. Pagkasama yung team, ayaw ng one-on-one lang. So those are some of the challenges of having a multicultural team. And you are the manager or the leader of that team. And then of course, that is motivation. Where motivation plays a very important it plays a very important role in the workplace because simply because if you're not motivated to work, you're not going to show up every day, do long work hours, and suck up your boss or suck up with all the issues in the workplace if you're not motivated. But Erica, why is motivation a cultural challenge? And I mean a challenge in a multicultural workplace because unless you know the motivation of each of your team members, it's difficult to drive them to give their 100% at work. Let's use the Filipinos as an example again. Because we are a third world country, guys, I hope walang masyadong negative reaction, but this is actually the reality. As a third world country, most of the time, 90% of the time, the motivation is money. Good remuneration, benefits, perks. Yan naman yung naman laging tinatanong. But you know what we've noticed with other cultures, even if hindi Asian, even if other Asians, hindi sila ganun ka-motivated with money. Others are motivated with career growth, with trainings, development, with the titles. So, iba-iba yung motivation. So, unless you know the motivation of your team, hindi mo yan madadrive to work harder or to work smarter because you are giving them the wrong, you are motivating them with the wrong things. So that's why it becomes a challenge in a multicultural workplace. If you're a manager and you assume that it's just the salary or the perks that will motivate your team, you're doing it the wrong way. That's why you have to understand the motivation of each person from different culture or different country, para you'll be able to provide them with the right motivational factors. All right. So let's wrap up this for the challenges. We have communication, different work ethics, relationships, conflict, leadership style, and motivation. Right. So let me share with you another picture. I love this picture of us. this was taken during our International Women's Day, and I'm very proud to be part of an organization that supports not only diversity but also equality. As you can see here, we have a very diverse group of female employees from different cultures, different backgrounds. We have developers here. Oh, diba? Developers are not only for for the guys. We have female developers, we have female functional consultants, we have delivery leads, we have managers here. Sobrang varied na mga roles and different levels. We have managers here, we have staff levels, we have leaders. So it's actually very motivational and also very empowering to be surrounded by this diverse group of multi-talented and multicultural people. So yeah, very happy. Okay, next, again now. So this is our main purpose today, but this is also the shortest but the most crucial part, adapting in a multicultural workplace. I've narrowed it down to 3. Okay, number 1 is communication. Oh, teka, yan din yung challenge kanina, but now you're saying this is also how we adapt. Yes, communication is the key. It is critical for effective work and team performance to provide accurate and timely information. So, how do we resolve the issue of communication? By communicating then. Okay, make sure that when you talk to a colleague, especially if hindi kayo parehong Filipino, especially if you come from different background, you provide clear, accurate information. Huwag kang padalos-dalos. Be straight to the point. What do you need? How can your teammate help you? If you feel na parang may certain gray area, ikaw na yung mag-offer. Ask, do you have any question? Do you want me to further explain? Because sometimes they have a different interpretation. So be proactive in explaining further so that you know that you are both on the right page. Okay, communication is the key. Even if you're using one language, again, it could mean different things to different people. So that's why you have to keep it simple and make sure that you provide information that everyone in your team will understand. Okay, and another thing to resolve yung communication challenge is encourage everyone to ask questions. Okay, and when you ask a question, for example, you are in a group setting. So again, some of these people might not be comfortable to ask you a question because you are in a group setting. So you can tell them, if you guys have questions and you want to raise it to me, you can personally approach me after this meeting, or you can direct message your question to me. You can email your question to me. That way, you're still encouraging them to ask questions, but not in the typical team setting. Okay, next, team building. Effective cross-cultural team building is required to reap the benefits of a cultural diversity in the workplace. So, na-solve yung problem ng communication. How do you make sure that you make a multicultural workplace more fun? So, team building. There are different ways for team building. Pwede kayong mag-team building with on-site activities. In our workplace, one of the ways that we do that is we have our weekly game. So we include everyone, we invite everyone, we encourage everyone to participate in the games. And when we come up with activities or games, we make sure that this is something that hindi maa-out of place yung ibang tao. We make it very inclusive. So if you are a type of person who likes to create activities or events in the workplace, make sure na hindi siya offensive with other cultures. So make a little bit of a research. Make sure that your activities will be enjoyed by everyone in all ages or sexual orientation. The key there is be inclusive. Okay. Next, time. So time perception highlight the importance of cultural diversity in the workplace and how it can affect day-to-day work. So medyo great tong part na to, but me explain. When we say time, you want to understand how different culture values time. Filipino time pa lang. Guys, eto, hindi tayo, PUPians, pay attention, hindi dapat makasanayan yung Filipino timeline. Yes, that concept exists. But the good thing is we can change that. And in my experience, as you grow professionally and personally in a multicultural company or multinational companies or global companies, you learn to respect the time of your teammates. Kaya pag sinabi, okay guys, meron tayong webinar, 9:30 webinar, you don't join ng 9:40 or you don't join ng 10 a.m. You join ng 9:30 or even better, you join 9:25. Okay? So when you have a very good understanding and respect of time for your teammates from different backgrounds or nationality, it works well for everyone. You also have to, another aspect of time is respecting work-life balance. When I was working for an Indian-owned company, I've noticed na there's a difference in terms of work-life balance because for that nationality, they're used to asking questions or contacting you even after work hours, which is not pretty typical for us. But for other countries, that's a big no-no. So you have, for example, may plans kayo mag-work sa ibang bansa, you have to understand what is your how do they view time? Is it normal for them to contact their employees after work hours, or is that a big no-no na even on holidays, even on weekends, you don't contact your employees? You have to know that because sometimes what might be offensive to you is normal to others, and what might be offensive to others is normal to you. Okay? And then of course, nandiyan din papasok yung holidays, yung work schedule or shift. One of the things that will help you navigate a multicultural workplace is if you are also aware of yung mga celebrations. Like for example, here sa Philippines, ang dami nating holiday. Okay? But our teammates in Australia, they don't usually bother us kapag holiday namin. They don't message us about work-related stuff. Kasi alam nila, we are on a holiday. So things like that, be very conscious of how you perceive time, work-life balance, holidays, rest days, schedules, or shift schedule with your teammates. Because for others, they are more flexible in terms of handling their time. So sa kanila, any time of the day, you can contact me. Kahit patulog na ako, you can message me. But for others, no yan. So you have to know what is okay and what is not acceptable for others. Okay? And of course, I want to share one last picture. This is one of my favorite key events in our company, and I've had the pleasure of organizing our 4th virtual anniversary celebration at Maverick when we had virtual games. You can see we have different teammates from different departments who joined us that day. It was hilarious. We had different games played by different nationalities, but it was very fun because everyone participated, everyone was so competitive, everyone really allotted time to join the event. So that's what I say when you're doing team building, make sure to consider everyone in the team para mas fun siya. All right, so this is our favorite part. Yes, I guess with this one, I will be needing the help of everyone. All right, so let's start with the questions. Now, I will stop sharing my screen because I need to view the stop share. Okay. All right, I will have to again. Hindi na ako magko-close ng screen. I will just open the other tab for the questions because I've been seeing some reactions here. All right. So, wow! Ang dami namang questions. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. like what I've promised earlier, I'll be picking 4 lucky winners. Okay. So I'll be picking 3 really good question. And then the fourth one, I will choose the best question from this. Okay. All right. If I ask your question and you have the capacity to turn on your video, I would love to see you. Okay, so let's see. First question. Very good question, ha. Pero gusto ko tong question ni, kaso anonymous. Okay. So I'll try to answer as many as I can. I guess the first one, start at the bottom. Okay, si Shy. Shy. Is Shy here? Shy, are you still here? Okay. Tignan natin. Wala na si Shy. Okay, so Shy's question is, how do students, especially the beginners, should embrace the cultural diversity in the workplace? And how is it important? So, okay, thank you so much, Shy, for sending your question in our Slido link. So the first one is, how do students, especially beginners, embrace cultural diversity? The first way is for you to have an open mind. I always tell applicants or candidates applying in Maverick, whenever I learn that it's their first time to work in a multicultural workplace, I always tell them to be like a sponge, a dry sponge. Why a dry sponge? When you're a dry sponge, you try to set aside your knowledge or experience and you try to absorb as much as you can so that you can learn from the new workplace or the new people that you're going to be working with. Because when you already have perceptions or judgment, it becomes harder for you to adjust or to adapt to a new work environment. So set aside your judgment, your prejudice, and be like a dry sponge and try to absorb as much as you can about and learn as much as you can about a multicultural team. So learn about them, their culture, ano ba yung normal sa kanila, ano ba yung hindi normal sa kanila, and you might just be surprised. Most of the time, we have more similarities than differences, and it's okay to have differences as long as we respect those differences. Okay, and Shy, how is it important? It's very important because if you are stuck with the idea na, ay, dito lang ako sa Filipino teammates ko, makikimengel, ayoko dun sa iba kasi baka Englishin nila ako. Ganyan yung normal reactions, right? If you have that kind of perception, you will not grow, not professionally, not personally, because you are limiting yourself to opportunities, to getting the chance to meet people, learn from these people, and dun pa lang talo ka na when you limit yourself. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Shy. Okay. Next. All right. Why did you choose PUP? Anonymous. Okay, I actually did not choose PUP. It was my late grandmother's choice for me to go to PUP because both my aunts are graduates of PUP and they're also equally very successful PUP alumni. My aunt as a former flight attendant in Cathay Pacific, and the other one is living a successful life in Canada. So she thought that if I go to PUP, I would also be successful as my aunts are. And I may not be as successful as them, not yet, but I consider myself pretty successful and pretty happy with where I'm currently at in my current career and also in my personal life. So yeah. Mabuhay ang mga isko at iska. Next, what are some common mistakes that newly grad do when applying for a job? Oh, this is actually a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna answer it anyway. So the common mistakes of newly grad is they do not research enough about the company. So guys, it's actually common when you apply for a job, you should at least take a look at the company profile. Ano ba yung role na ina-applyan mo? Most of the time, when I ask, what do you know about Maverick? They don't, I don't know, never heard. So if you don't know about it, then you should research. But when you come to the interview, you're prepared. It's like going to a battle. You don't go to a battle without your weapon or without knowing who you're going to face or what you're gonna do in the battle. So you have to be prepared. It's the same thing when you're applying for a job. Research is the key. Research about the workplace, research about the interviewer, research about the role. Ano ba yung qualifications ng role? Baka mamaya kasi nag-a-apply ka for a role that you're underqualified, diba? So you're just wasting the time of the interviewer. So research is the key when you're a newly grad applying for a job. And of course, confidence. Sometimes fake it till you make it help a lot. All right. So thank you so much to the anonymous sender. Excuse me. Next from RDJC. Okay, is RDJC here? RDJC?
Hello po. I'm here.
Oh, hi. There.
Hello po.
So, hi, lovely meeting you, Regina. Regina is from BSE. What is BSEDMT, Regina?
Our section po, from PUP Main.
PUP Main, and
Yes.
you're in second year?
Yes po.
Wow, all right. So thank you so much, Regina, for that question. Sorry, for our audience, can you please share what BSEDMT stands for?
Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, major in Mathematics.
Ay, nako. Ito talaga yung mga big shot mga major in mathematics. So shout out to your class, Regina, and thank you so much for sending this question. Oo, hindi talaga natin forte ang math. So I've always have high respect for those taking up major or even minor in mathematics. So kudos. All right. So your question is, what adjustments did you do when you first start working with Aussies? Oh, that's a very good question. Well, I think one of the first things that I had to do to be able to to adapt and not only adjust to the work environment is to observe. Observe ko yung usual behaviors. There's a common, funny thing that I'm gonna share with you. There's a common notion that Aussies are actually more laid back than Americans. And speaking from my own experience, it's actually true. They're more relaxed in the workplace. They're very laid back people, very cool, very approachable. So yeah, I guess I observed how they work. I observed how they converse with people, so that I know how to also behave myself or how to respond to their emails or how to answer to them when we're in video call meetings. Like for example, with Aussies, one of the major adjustments that I did, I remember correctly, is how I composed emails. Because with us Filipinos, we are usually very ma-detail the email. Sometimes joke is nobela pa nga yung emails, diba? Very emotional. But one of the things that I've learned with Aussies is that when you're conversing with them, be direct to the point. Don't sugarcoat things. Don't make it too floppy, the emails. Just be direct to the point. Answer their question, understand the question, and then provide data. Okay, just data, don't be emotional. So that's one of the things that I first learned or adjusted to when I started working with Australians. So thank you so much again, Regina from BSEDMP for that beautiful question. Next, Valve. Valve, do we have Valve here? Valve, are you here? Are you still here? Okay, wala si Valve. Okay, last, going once, going twice. Okay, wala na si Valve. But anyway, okay, Valve's question is, do diversity and inclusion help organizations retain people longer? Yes and no. Yes, because when you have a diverse group of people or multicultural team, remember our topic earlier, it has its own advantages. But if you're not able to handle this multicultural group of people, it becomes a problem. And if that becomes a problem, then it becomes a bigger issue, not only for the boss but also for the company. Because if your team is not working well together, they don't have the good work relationship, then how can you expect them to complete the task or to work on certain projects together? Right? But in most cases, diversity really helps a lot of companies, both small scale, medium scale, or large scale companies. Because again, going back to what I shared earlier, when you have a diverse group of people, this multicultural team bring with them years of experience. They have a rich creativity, professionalism, and all you have to do is to hone that. All you have to do is find a way to complement their area of specialization with each other, so that they can be very useful to everyone in the team, and so that when they work together, their output becomes very productive. Okay. Val also has another question. Was there a time you experienced discrimination or you saw someone being discriminated against? How did you handle either situation? Well, Val, very good questions right there. Talaga naman pinag-isipan. Yan. Very, very well thought of question. So, okay, was there a time that you experienced discrimination? I guess the truth of the matter is yes. Not in my current company. It was in one of my previous companies. It was a sales company, and I was a newly promoted manager, and it was a little bit difficult for me. I don't think I was discriminated because I was a Filipino, but more because I was new to the role, and compared to other managers in the team, they were more tenured, and yeah, they definitely had more experience and more things that they can bring into the table. So how did I handle that? Again, I do what I always do best. I observe first. And then whenever I present solutions. I don't just present problems during our meetings. So every time we have some challenges in our recruitment department, I would make sure that I have all the facts straight and that I would present them with solutions. And that's how I gain their respect, because I come up with solutions and not problems. And that's when they realize that this girl, although she's younger, much younger compared to the other managers, has a mind of her own. She knows how to handle big or small problems on her own. She knows how to handle the team, and that's when I gained their respect. And then from the time on, whenever we have challenges, they already listen to what I have to share, because they know that at a certain point I'll be able to also provide and contribute to the growth of our company just by sharing my experience and specialization. So yeah. Next, Anonymous. Paano babaguhin yung pananaw ng ibang Pilipino na kapag nag-English ka ay hindi naman nagpapasosyal? The truth of the matter is you can't control what other people think, and it's not just the Filipinos. I guess there's just a common misconception that when you're speaking English, pasosyal ka, because others talaga naman, to be fair, others are speaking in English to express or for other people to know that they're well educated, or they're more alta, or more rich. So to be fair, may mga ganun naman talaga. But for others naman, it's just typical for them because it's the language that they have gotten used to speaking already, and they have no ill intentions of showing off. It's just they're just used to speaking English na. So your question, paano babaguhin ang pananaw ng ibang Pilipino? I guess you can change it, but what you can do is you adjust to the situation. Like for example, if you are in a state na you don't have to speak English naman, and then try your best na wag ka na mag-English, mag-Tagalog ka na lang. O kung hindi mo hindi mo talaga sanay, especially in this generation, madami talaga na mas sanay mag-Taglish than straight Tagalog. So you adjust the situation, you adjust your communication skills level to the place, to the people that you're working or conversing with. If it's in the workplace, go by all means, speak in straight English. But if you're just, you know, in a certain place, kung nag-grocery ka lang, tapos, ate, can you please add this to the list? So, syempre si ate, diba? So, ano ba to? Ba't ganito naman? Nag-English pa, sasabihin lang pala, magpapadagdag lang pala ng ng zesto dun sa listahan. Mga ganun. So, adjust, be sensitive to the situation, be sensitive to the place, to the people that you're conversing with para makapag-adjust. Hindi lang ikaw, pero sila mag-adjust din. Ayun. So, do we have other questions na wala dito sa chat? Parang medyo... Okay. Ayan, sa chat. Sorry, ngayon ko lang nabuksan. Okay. Okay. Nag-comment si Regina. Yes, correct yan. Yung Barbie barbecue. Hindi si Barbie na manika. Okay. Alright. Okay, nakakatuwa naman. Alright, so I think meron na tayo, naka-choose na ako ng mga top questions. So, wala na bang habol para ma-announce na natin yung winners? Wala na? Okay, mag-stop na ako ng sharing, ha? Alright. So, my first question, the first winner. Okay, the first winner. Miss Maven, pwede na po ba tayo mag-award ng winners?
Yeah, sure. Continue na natin.
Pamigay na natin yan. Okay.
Yes, pamigay agad.
Pamigay, yes. So guys, this is actually, hindi naman to house and lot or entertainment showcase ha. For fun lang naman din yung ating question and answer. Okay, so for our first winner, the pick ko na question is kay Shai. So Shai, if you are here, hello, Shai. Make sure that you, hihingin ko na lang kay Miss Mavel later, pero Shai, if you are here, kindly provide your GCash number, and I will award you with 100 pesos for your very thoughtful question na. Yung question ni Shai, and also yung person na nag-send ng question, how the students, especially the beginners, should embrace cultural diversity in the workplace. So thank you so much and congratulations to Shai, our first winner. And then next, okay. Next, of course, another 100 peso GCash winner, Regina, ang ating math wizard. Regina, I know Regina's still here.
Dito pa rin po.
Ayun, congratulations, Regina. Please provide your GCash number to Miss Mavel. You're the second winner. And then, pwede bang sino ba yung anonymous? Baka gusto nung anonymous manalo kasi mahirap mag-award ng 100 pesos ng GCash kapag anonymous.
Yes, Miss Erika, pwede bang i-post na lang namin yung questions na na-choose mo doon sa alumni page namin?
Oh, yes.
Kung sino man yung nagtanong sa kanila, they can send us their information para makontak ka namin, mapunta namin sa inyo. Sige.
Yes, so gusto ko i-award kay Anonymous yung last na GCash na 100. Okay, kasi yung question niya, paano babaguhin ang pananaw ng ibang Pilipino na kapag nag-English ka ay hindi naman nagpapasosyal. So, congratulations, Anonymous. Just like what Miss Mavel said, paki-send na lang po ang GCash number and ipopost din nila to para later ma-sendan kayo ng prize.
Yes, and I think Miss Erika may nagke-claim na ni Anonymous. Yes, dito sa comment section natin. Hi!
Si Anonymous.
You can unmute, anak. From Binyan, PUP Binyan.
Ay, wow! Ang layo naman po. Pahingi naman po ng ano ba yung nasa Binyan? Pastillas ba yun? Or buko pie ba yun? Ayan,
PUP.
nasaan ang ating winner?
PUP Binyan Campus, Patrick Dwayne Millar, alumni.
Patrick. Ay, alumni.
He's an alumni.
Thank you so much for watching and participating.
Nasa office. Pa-PM na lang po sir ng inyong GCash information para po masend ni Miss Erika sa inyo yung prize niyo. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. And of course, last but not the least, yung ating grand winner, hindi GCash lang. I am awarding this book. Hindi ko siya buka, I wish, but I love this book. Start with Why. Okay, so this is a very good book of how great leaders inspire everyone to take action. Guys, the full book, this is 899 pesos. So I'm giving this away as a token of appreciation for our active participants. So congratulations to none other than Valve. Yay! Congratulations, Valve. Please provide your contact details to Miss Mavel so that we could ship this book to you this week. Okay? Alright. So, Val, nandito ka ba? Going once, going twice? Wala. Ayan, sayang wala si Val. But to everyone who sent in their questions, to everyone who shared the webinar link, thank you. Thank you so much for your time this morning. And more importantly, Miss Mavel, to your team, to the whole UP alumni team, thank you so much for inviting me. It has been a very pleasant and wonderful experience.
Thank you for the plenty of food for thought, Miss Erika. I just would like to correlate our present topic to our previous topic about leadership naman yun, because you cannot be a good leader if you cannot navigate effectively a multicultural workplace, right? So again, to our speaker, Miss Erika, thank you so much. May may bonus na GCash and book pa para sa ating mga students and alumni. Thank you so much. So I think mukhang na-handle na ni Miss Erika yung open forum. So meron pa ba gusto humabol ng tanong kahit na-announce na ni Miss Erika yung mga winners sa mga nagtanong? Okay? Meron pa ba? Wala na? Okay. May allow me just to read some of the comments doon sa ating chat box.
Yes, please.
So thank you so much from BSE, the MT21N. Po, for sharing your knowledge, Miss. We really learned a lot from you po. Ayan. And also, this one is from Angelo. I think Angelo is from different school. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. It will helpful to my personal growth, to your guest speaker for your webinar today. Ayan. Madalas po yan si Angelo na nanonood sa atin. Thank you, Angelo. Okay, meron pa po ba? Okay. Ayan, may nagbigay na po ng mga information about their GCash. From John and Paul. Natutuwa ako dito kay John and Paul kasi iisang Zoom lang sila, pero I think baka magkapatid sila or magkaibigan using one gadget. So thank you so much, Paul, for your sharing your knowledge. Ayan.
Thank you so
Your
much,
guest
John and
speaker
Paul.
is so pretty. I agree. Opo, ayan. Ayan.
Thank you so much.
PUPOUS main. Thank you po. Ayan. With heart, may face tapos may heart. Ayan. Thank you so much, everyone. And also, thank you so much, Miss Erika. Okay, I think everything is clear and our PUPians were inspired already and learned from our talk.
Yes, Miss Nathan, sorry,
Yes, sure.
I just forgot. Is it okay po to just invite everyone to our Facebook page, Maverick Facebook page? So, guys, as you know, I'm working for Australian-based company. It's called Maverick. Yes, Maverick talaga siya with an E. Hindi siya Jejemon, guys, ha? Kasi yung owners, favorite nila si Maverick from Top Gun. So, they named our company after their favorite character. So, if we have any Salesforce developers here or MuleSoft developers, we are actively hiring kami right now. So, we have multiple openings in Manila. So I will be the one to conduct your interview. So we're looking for lead quality analysts, developers for MuleSoft and Salesforce. So if you know anyone who would be a good fit, again, it's Salesforce and MuleSoft. please contact me on my LinkedIn page. I'll be very happy to assist you with your application. And please, we would really prefer to have more PUPs in our team right now. And in the future, we hope that you would also consider joining Maverick as your next employer. So yun lang po. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we give our speaker a heart reaction for generously answering all the questions? May pa-prize pa of our participants. Relating our topic, of course, navigating a multicultural workplace. Thank you so much, Miss Erika and listings. Okay, so there. Ayan, I can see so many hearts on the screen.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes. So, ayan, let us move on to our awarding of certificate of appreciation to our speaker, Ms. Erika Joy E. Carganilla. Let us hear what's inside the certificate. Assistant Professor Jane S. Pulma, the Chief of CDPS, please do the honors.
Okay, so good morning, ma'am. So thank you again for joining us on this webinar po and sharing your knowledge. So let me award the certificate of appreciation. So let me read the certificate. Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Office of the Vice President for Students Affairs and Services, Alumni Relation and Career Development Office. This certificate of appreciation is hereby given to Ms. Erika Joy E. Carganilla, People Engagement Specialist, Maverick, Australia, in grateful acknowledgement of her engagement and insightful academic contribution as resource speaker, imparting unparalleled knowledge and expertise in navigating multicultural workplace during the webinar series with the title BALIK Sintang PAARALAN, the PUP Alumni Webinar Series held on August 4, 2022 via Zoom and Facebook live stream. Given this 4th day of August 2022 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Santa Mesa, Manila, signed Engineer Florinda H. Aquino, Director, Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, Professor Thomas O. Testor, Vice President for Students Affairs and Services. So again, ma'am, congratulations and thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much po. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Jane. So again, Ma'am Erika, thank you so much. I would like to invite everyone to share your camera for the photo op with Miss Erika.
Yes.
Sige na, yes, please.
Sige natin yung beautiful faces.
Yan, mga PUPians natin today there. Share tayo ng camera. Everyone, inviting everyone to please open their camera for the photo op with Miss Erika. There. Ayan. Parang mga sa klase lang natin, Okay.
Good morning.
Okay, thank you. So we have actually 3 panels. So let's just keep on smiling kasi hindi natin alam kung saang panel tayo. So let's just have first panel. Okay, ready? With heart reaction, can you please click the heart reaction, everyone? There, I can see so many hearts on my screen. Very good. Thank you so much. Okay, first panel. 1, 2, 3. Smile, everyone. I think Roan is taking picture. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Next panel, second panel. Again, please keep on clicking the heart reaction. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile. Second panel. Thank you so much. For our last panel, again, let's click the heart reaction. Okay, everyone smile. 3, 2, 1. Okay, very good. Thank you so much, everyone. Yon. Okay. To all participants, please do not forget to answer the evaluation form posted already in our chat box here in Zoom and the comment section on our FB page for you to receive your e-certificate through your email. Kindly visit the PUP Alumni Facebook page and our YouTube channel, PUPArt.tv, then like and share the webinar live stream video so that other students and alumni can also be able to learn and inspire from our webinar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our morning. Thank you all for making time in your busy schedules to join us here this morning. It's been our pleasure to host this event, and I hope you were inspired by this event. Once again, I'm Mabel B. Lagarde, your moderator. God bless everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
Miss Erika, would you like to listen to the PUP hymn?
Yes,
Para? Okay, thank you. Again, thank you, Miss Erika.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Shai. So we will be ending